Today, I'm breaking down Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. We're going to go over everything that he gets right about communication and then everything that he gets terribly wrong about how you can put people into categories. Let's dive in. And if you've ever thought that your client was impossible to read, you're not surrounded by idiots. You just need a better strategy for communication. Real quick, I'm Coach Dan, and I have studied psychology for years. I got my master's in sports psychology, and I've worked with thousands of people on real human behavior. People do not fit into boxes. And I promise you that there are patterns that you can observe to communicate better, sell more effectively, and connect with anyone without the gimmicks of categories. Today's plan is that we're going to unpack the useful tools from Surrounded by Idiots, debunk the personality test nonsense, total bullcrap, and give you real psychology on how you can approach sales conversations. The core idea of the book Surrounded by Idiots is that you're not actually surrounded by idiots. People are just different than the way that you actually think. When you have an interaction with somebody and you think, man, how did they not understand that? How did they not get it? It's not because they're an idiot or you're an idiot. It's just because you guys have a different way of thinking. And Thomas's theory is that he puts people into four different categories: red, yellow, green, and blue. Red people are supposedly more direct and decisive. They're fast paced, results driven, typically CEOs, high strung, type A personalities, super extra communicative, and very masterful at what they do. Very leadership oriented. So those are more red type people. Yellow people are more social and expressive. They're the life of the party. They're the ones that are always telling jokes all the time, that are energetic, love relationships. Relationships are the most important thing to them. And then there are green people. These people are patient, supportive, calm. They don't like the center of attention. They like to be kind of laid back, but they're very helpful and they love to be supportive. Again, relationships are their core currency. Blue people are analytical and detail oriented. So these people ask for proof. They like to be precise. They're numbers people. They're the nerds. And these are kind of what he talks about. And all of this is just pattern recognition. Nobody is ever specifically one category. He does share that people can be a mix of all these different ones, but you're a majority one of them. And I want to talk about why personality tests and categories like this are total bullcrap from a psychological level. So here's the truth bomb. Psychology shows that humans are dynamic. We are not a fixed type or be able to put us into one category. Somebody that is more leaning red can also have a yellow side to them, and a green side, and a blue side. It's all based on your decisions. So, what happens when you label somebody with a specific category? I'm sure you've heard of the Myers Briggs personality test, as well as personality tests. What Hogwarts class are you, or what the different little personality tests. And when you put people into these categories, it's very self-fulfilling prophecy, where you say, "Oh, I see all these different traits in you," and will reaffirm that category in that person, and they will start to behave in that way because they see social perceived value from being categorized in such a way. So I hate people being put into categories and being labeled, and it feels like it puts people into a corner and they can't change. They can't adapt. But you can change. You can adapt psychologically. Your identity is adaptable. And I talk a lot about neuroplasticity, that your brain can literally change. And I was at an event and we talked a lot about how the story you tell yourself matters and it can be rewritten. We took a group of people that were in traumatic events. They had PTSD either from car accidents or war or whatever it may be. And they wrote the story out 6 times. And then after the 6th time, they were able to extrapolate and take out the negative and find positive in it. And it changed their story and it changed their identity. It changed how they behaved. You can change your behavior not based on category, but based on psychological principles. So, in sales, don't just categorize people. I know some sales people talk about there's tigers, bulls, owls, and armadillos, or there's different types of buying temperatures. Those are totally great, but they're not categorizing people. They are buying temperatures and ways to communicate with a person based on patterns, not personality categories. In sales, so don't categorize, connect with people, find what's valuable. So, I'm going to talk about the communication mechanisms that actually work, some of them that Thomas Erickson talked about, but not specifically apply them to direct red, yellow, green, blue categories, but overall communication tactics that you can use to find value in a conversation. Number one is to mirror. We talked about this in our Never Split the Difference training, mirroring people, matching their tone, matching their pace, building rapport. People like themselves. So they like somebody that is like themselves. This doesn't mean that you're a chameleon and that you adapt and change to somebody. You're mirroring them in a way that you can connect. You're both high energy, you're both low energy, you're both middle level energy. You're talking at the same pace, your tonality is matching. So they just feel comfortable around you. You're using this as a communication tactic to build comfort and trust. Number two is to ask, but don't assume. Do not assume anything in any conversation. Communicate it properly. I get so annoyed at how many movies and how many problems can be solved in movies based off of proper communication if they just asked the right questions and talked about it. It bugs me a lot. So ask open-ended questions, ask how, ask ways to be able to come to a solution where you can actually build value with the person you're talking with. Three is to listen for values, not types. Kind of goes with the asking. Ask for what's actually important and valuable to them. This is question based selling, question based communication. You will reveal it through the questions and find their own values. And then another one is going to be adapt your delivery style. And again, this goes with mirroring. If someone's fast paced, get to the point. If someone's relationship driven, then talk about relationships. If someone's analytical, then be analytical. These are patterns of behavior that you can utilize based on a specific season that a person is in. If somebody wants to go over the numbers and go deeper into that, then go into it. Be giving what this person actually values. It's not personality, it's value. What does this person value? And then the last one for communication skills is to practice active listening and being empathetic. Focus on their feelings, not made up categories. Focus on feelings and value again. Okay. This next category, I want to talk a little bit more about the real psychology versus the pop culture personality test. Real psychology is personality is a combination of three things: your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. These are all influenced by your beliefs, your environment, and your choices. And they do shape and shift over time. And based on how you think, feel, and act, is going to be the person that you are portrayed as in society. But that can always change, it can adapt because you all have free will, free agency, the ability to think and behave differently from moment to moment. You can choose any time to be different, to be in a different category, to whatever's going to serve you the best, change to be that way and have that identity of I am malleable, I am adaptable, I can change, but I also have my concrete core values. This doesn't mean you're always ebb and flow with things. You have core values, but that's not a personality. A core value of faith, family, fitness, finance, fun. Those are my core values. Those are my priorities. So come up with your priorities that are going to be your anchor for your identity and then choose to behave however you want to behave based on the situation you have in front of you. Now, this helps with powerful sales skills because one, personal development, you're going to be a higher level, better person with better self understanding, better emotional intelligence, and better ability to read people through their patterns and emotional intelligence. So, this will help you with sales skills to have that right communication tactic to find value and to help clients step into a story that helps you solve their problem. You're a storyteller. Your ability as a sales rep is to be able to go through a story and get somebody to believe what you want them to believe. Now, people talk about propaganda. Propaganda has been a negative term, but really you can use it as a positive, where you're going to shift somebody's beliefs into something that you can actually help them with. sports psychology is a very new field. And so I have to talk about sports psychology and how it can help sales reps because it's new. And I have to tell the right stories that give you the ability to believe that sales psychology, performance psychology can help you improve your performance. Mindset training matters. So there's all these different powerful sales tactics and things that you can use. I can't emphasize enough. I did like this book. It was a good read. It gave different tactics and things, but overall, I don't like the category personality test ideology. You are not a category. You can shift and you can change, you can adapt. So, the truth, people aren't red, blue, green, or yellow. They're human, complex, and capable of change. So, you need to learn how to connect, empathize, and adapt. And you'll outcommunicate 99% of salespeople that are stuck believing in fake personality labels. So, if you want real psychology and high level sales training that builds true connection, then join the free MindFit School community where you can learn all of this and more and even book a one on one training with me. Check it out. Go join the free community. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson.